back to our channel, BVB Army Hearts to Hearts. My name is Ruth.
And I'm Nicole.
And we have an amazing fan with us.
I'm Caidyn.
We are back with another BVB fan story for today. One of my favorites to always hear the fan stories. Our first question is, how did you discover Blackville Brides?
So I used to be a huge Panic! The Disco fan, and I was just scrolling through YouTube and I see the Knives and Pens music video come up and I'm like, this is intriguing. All I see is that picture of Andy's face and I'm like, this is intriguing. So I click on it and then I'm like, this is everything that I need in my life. Then I just go down the rabbit hole on YouTube and watch all their videos.
The fact that you talk about Panic! At the Disco, like I used to be a huge Panic! At the Disco fan, but it's like listening to them, it just wasn't enough, you know? It was not enough.
Yeah, I was just scrolling through YouTube, just looking at all their videos. It was around the time that I think their self-titled album came out. But the first one that showed up was Knives and Pens.
Very iconic music video. I do, yeah.
If I'm not mistaken, is Knives and Pens for all three of us the very first song we all heard by Blackville Brides?
For me, correct. Yes, that is a fact.
Yeah, for me it was the acoustic version because I found the acoustic on Spotify first and then it was the video. Then I'm like, I have to look the song up.
I was so confused when I found the acoustic after because I wasn't even sure if it was real. It sounded so different.
It did. The first one I saw was the music video, and then I went down the rabbit hole, and then I found the acoustic version.
We all went down the rabbit hole.
His eyes were captivating. Hello, pierce blue eyes into.
I kept looking up pictures of Andy on Google, and I was like, I just need to put this as my wallpaper on my phone or something.
Me, guilty. I did that.
Who hasn't put Andy?
Well, okay, to be
as their
fair, back
wallpaper?
then, I feel like, at least for Nicole and I, it was mostly his MySpace photos in his early days.
My all-time favorite member is Jake.
Love it. Love it.
What is your favorite song by Blackville Brides?
It's Last Right.
This is another first, ladies and gentlemen, another first.
Which kind of sucks because that's Jake's least favorite song to play. So every time he's on a Twitch stream, I always request in the chat, I'm like, Last Rites, I want Last Rites. And he's like, but I don't really care for that song.
I have heard of that. Nicole's like completely shocked over here.
I am. Okay, because I feel like a lot of fans don't really care for Last Rites, but then to hear that even Jake is like, I'm kind of taken back a bit, you guys.
I mean, at least he's straight honest and forward about it instead of like.
Yeah, he didn't say he hated the song, but he was like, it's okay, but I wouldn't choose to play the song.
And maybe I feel like it's like challenging for him. I don't know. I could be completely wrong. Hi, BVB Army. You can roast me in the comments. It's been a long time since I've listened to that song. So I know of it. Just been a while. It's been a minute.
Yeah, I was debating back and forth in my head which song is my favorite because I've just been spamming like Wake Up recently. And I'm like, that song, is that my favorite? And then I go back and like, no, Last Rites has been my favorite since I got into the band. So no, it's that.
I mean, to be fair, to pick your ultimate favorite Blackville Bride song, it's a hard one for a lot of fans just because there's so many good ones. But again, we have another first here, ladies and gentlemen. Another first song that no one has picked yet. Since we have your favorite song now, favorite album they have produced and come out with.
It's between the self-titled and We Stitch These Wounds. So I can't decide.
Interesting.
If you had to pick between 4 and Restitch, though, which one would you pick? If you had to. I'm making you.
Probably self-titled because there's so many songs that just pump me up, like Drag Me to the Grave, got Last Rites, Crown of Thorns.
Thank you. Crowds of I love that.
And then isn't it Devil in the Mirror?
Okay, so I always find interesting, especially when I run into fans who love 4 just because I feel like 4 is the underdog of all the albums out there. Because like, don't get me wrong, it's a phenomenal album in its own way. I just feel like it doesn't get a lot of love like the other ones do. It's just very nice to see like, this album has fans, guys. Blackville Brides 4 has fans out there who appreciates it.
Yeah, it's like I think it was the Goodbye Agony that really got me into that album in the first place. Like the music video, I played it like 5 million times. I was like, I need to watch this over and over and over again.
I personally think, and I agree with you, Ruth, I feel that it is a very underrated album, which is kind of strange to me because I personally feel that every single song on that album is catchy. Lyrically and instrumentally, they're all very beautiful.
They are. Crowds of Thorn, though, really spoke to me on that album. Nicole, please tell me if I'm correct or wrong. Was there a bonus song with 4? Yes.
There was.
Thank you. Okay, I was like,
Sons of Night, Sons of
Night, yes, it
Night.
was-
Okay, it sounds like I'm not making this up in my head. Yes, it was 4. Yes, yeah. Okay, 4. Thank you.
I almost forgot about that song for a second.
Yo, okay, so this is why Blackville Brides needs to play like their bonus tracks. They need to play the bonus
They
tracks
just need to put
live.
all their bonus songs into one album dedicated to their bonus songs. Blackville Brides
Ideas.
bonus. There you go.
That'd be amazing if they played any of their bonus songs live.
Hey,
Okay.
Abby. No.
Ooh.
Sorry.
Oh, the turntables, Ruth. So your favorite album from Blackville Brides, you would say, is Blackville Brides 4. Now, what are your thoughts on Blackville Brides' new album, The Phantom Tomorrow?
I love The Phantom Tomorrow. Listen to the album so many times. Probably my most listened to Blackville Brides album. Like I'll play it constantly. It goes back and forth on which songs are my favorite because I just like listen to it. And I'm like, it has such a storyline, and then the music videos just have a story, and then the comic book, and I'm like, does this just get better?
I would agree with you. I feel like with The Phantom Tomorrow, Blackville Brides is definitely throwing all the goodies to us with this album in this whole new era that they're in.
Yeah, and I love that they have Lonnie in it now. Lonnie is so talented. Like I was watching his Instagram story earlier, and he was just playing the guitar. I'm like, I'm gonna watch this over and over and over again.
I would definitely say that Blackville Brides struck gold when they found Lonnie. And I really think that with bringing Lonnie in, that definitely helped to make The Phantom Tomorrow exquisite.
Mm-hmm. Oh, there is a total like progress and growth and change between that one and Veil for sure.
The progression is real.
It is super real. Lonnie, thank you. We miss you on tour. With The Phantom Tomorrow, if you can, with 1. If not, we will let you slide with 3. What are your favorite songs from The Phantom Tomorrow?
My favorite song by far has to be Shadows Rise. Like I can listen to that over and over and over again, and that's one song I feel like I'll never get sick of. That's by far my favorite. I used to think Crimson Skies was my favorite for a while, but Shadows Rise though.
I mean, if you find yourself listening to Shadows Rise more than Crimson Skies, I would definitely say it's got to be your favorite. But I'm going to assume Crimson Skies is definitely a close second.
Yeah, Crimson Skies, and then I really like Born Again too.
Another masterpiece right there. All masterpieces.
I feel like I know what your answer is going to be, but I'm going to ask it anyway. Do you prefer We Stitch These Wounds or Restitch These Wounds?
Stitch. Mostly because I'm for the Mortician's Daughter. I wanted, in the Restitch, I wanted singing. As much as I love Jinx's violin, I love Jinx's violin, but I wanted singing because the lyrics are just so powerful and mean so much to me. And I'm like, so I have to choose Restitch.
I do want to say that I'm also very saddened about the Mortician's Daughter not having lyrics, although I live for Jinx's violin. Honestly, just his skill with all of the instruments he can play, classical to rock to who knows whatever else he can play. I just think it's absolutely beautiful. With the progression of Andy's voice, he'd make every girl swoon with that song. You guys have to mentally picture Andy singing The Mortician's Daughter with the way his voice is now.
The progression of Andy's voice, I just like, can you do a Mortician's Daughter remake?
Was that the song you were most excited to hear on the album, on the remake?
I was, because that's my favorite. That's one of my favorite We Stitch These Wounds songs.
You're not the only fan, obviously, who feels that way when the Restitch album came out. So, what is your favorite memory with Blackville Brides?
Like an actual memory of Blackville Brides, because I've never seen them live or met them, but it was more of the fan interactions. Okay, I saw Cassidy's drawings and I commented on her art, and then we started a whole conversation through DMs on Instagram, and then we just like became like friends from that. And I'm like, I have friends that like the same music that I listen to.
It is wonderful when you meet another BVB member. It's like, yes.
And I think Cassidy, me and Cassidy both are from Wisconsin, so I'm like, yes, another fan from Wisconsin.
No, it's great when you find one who's nearby. Nicole, you're so far.
All you guys are far from me. I don't think I have one friend in Colorado that likes Blackville Brides.
For those of us who are watching, yes, I'm sorry you didn't get a chance to see Blackville Brides at the Oshkosh show because of everything with testing positive with Andy and the tour crew. Like, it breaks my heart that you've never seen them live. That was the day you're going to see them live, and then COVID. Wonderful COVID.
I'm gonna go for the in between tour, but I'm not that big of a fan of In This Moment. So when I heard Turning a Tear, I'm like, I could see Motionless White Eye Singles and Blackville Brides at the same time. But then Andy got COVID. I like spent 2 hours doing the Wretched and Divine, like Andy's line for my makeup, and I'm just like, You had to get COVID.
I know you're not the only one whose emotions were there. Like Cassidy and I were there. A lot of other BVB fans were there. It was a roller coaster for all of us because like we were excited, the news, and they were like, "Do we still go? Yeah, we'll still go. They want us to go." And then don't worry, like because Cassidy and I were up in barricade. Cassidy had to go get some water, bathroom break. So I was trying to save her spot, aka starfish mode. Yeah, no, I cried. Hello. Yes, I cried in barricade even before Lil Czar came on to perform. I was crying because I was like, I was sad. I was just like, I know it's not their fault, but yeah, I am sorry that situation did happen and everything. And I really hope I'm crossing every single part of my body that they will go back on tour in the second leg or another tour out soon, that you'll get to see them finally.
Yeah, they're coming to Rockfest, which is in Cadott, Wisconsin, which Motionless White and Blackville Bride's supposed to be there.
Yeah, I mean, hopefully the second, if the second leg truly does happen, girl, get yourself the tickets again, get yourself VIP. I mean, you need a redo.
Yes, you do. One is a question we have is a deep question, so feel free to share as much as you want, obviously. How has Blackville Brides impacted your life?
So it was back when my parents were getting divorced, that my Blackville Brides was like my version of therapy, where basically it's the only thing I could listen to, where I felt like I wasn't gonna blow up and start screaming at the world and everything for just the way that my life was literally blowing up in my face. And I always thought that it was my fault for them getting a divorce. My parents always tell me no, but I'm like, you didn't start this until I started something. How they impacted my life, basically my own little headspace therapy.
For what it's worth, my parents are divorced too. They divorced when I was still an infant, like 2-3 years old. It's not your fault. It's not your fault for them divorcing. Don't blame that on you. Seriously, do not. With your parents getting divorced and you just kind of feeling down and taking that blame, which you shouldn't. I'm glad that Blackville Brides was there and to be your therapist, your therapy for music therapy, to kind of escape reality and into this realm that they've created for a safe haven for us misfits and outcasts, as they would say.
Yeah, I listened to Carolyn like 50 million times around that, because that's the whole lyric of "You're Not Alone." I'm just like, this is what I need.
I 100% agree with everything that Ruth has said on it. Nothing is your fault. Everything that happened between your parents is between them. It does not fall on you. And I'm just glad that Blackville Bride's music was that helping hand reaching out to you. And I'm glad you grabbed it.
They were very helpful in that whole situation. So basically.
Good.
And hopefully things are better for you.
It doesn't affect me as much anymore because it was such a long time ago that this happened. Mm-hmm. And my mom got remarried and all that stuff. So I'm like, it's not so bad.
Good. And I hope your step parents are also good to you too then. So
yeah.
Yay.
They are.
Good. It always makes me happy to hear that step parents can be good. Yay. I'm happy for you.
Do you have any Blackville Bride tattoos? And if not, are there any plans for some future ones?
I don't have any tattoos at all currently, but I've been wanting to get a Blackville Bride tattoo for a while. But I'm so scared of needles that I don't know if I could do a tattoo, even though I want one so bad.
Okay, girl, listen up. I'm gonna give you some realness here, okay? I'm also terrified of needles. Ruth's just gonna spend this moment laughing, okay? It's okay. I'm terrified of needles. Absolutely terrified. And something that I found out with tattoos, because of course, if and I know you've been watching all of our episodes, you've heard me tell the story of me running around and the tattoo artist had to chase me. So the difference is the needle getting a shot that goes into your skin, like down to the bone. And that's what I don't like. A tattoo needle? No, it is not the same thing, Ruth, because a tattoo needle, while it is pushing into your skin, it's technically not going deep down into the bone. It's technically it's hard to explain.
Okay. Nicole makes me laugh every single time when needles are brought up in tattoos, because you've seen her. You know how many Blackville Brides, tattoos she has, like she is the walking advertisement of Blackville Brides tattoos anyway. So when I first met her, and she told me like, oh, I'm terrified of needles. And then I see her body all covered up in tattoos. I'm like, this doesn't compute. Nope, you're trolling me. Nope, you're trolling me. And then she mentions like how shots and stuff go through your skin. I'm like, it's kind of the same thing. You have a singular needle that lines, then you have the shader has multiple needles stabbing your skin. I'm like, see, I'm sorry, Nicole, we're going to agree to disagree on this. I'm still confused. I don't think I'll ever understand the logic that you have with a shot and tattoo needles.
It's same, but different. I can promise you, you'll be 100% fine getting a tattoo. It's literally not the same as getting a shot. It's a lot easier and better. I'd rather deal with getting a tattoo all day than get a single shot in my arm for 1 second.
I will say, I when I first got my first tattoo, which was a Blackville Brides tattoo, I was terrified because like never gotten a tattoo before, didn't know what to expect or anything. And I do understand that fear of the needle, like because like a tattoo needle, it does hit your skin, not as deep as a shot, but it heats your skin. But I understand about being that fear. So honestly, the rule of thumb with tattoos, if you have an idea and you're consistently thinking about it after 2 years or so, probably your sign to go get it.
Yeah, I thought about commissioning Cassidy to design my tattoo.
Yes!
I thought about it, and I'm like, that girl is so talented. I'm like, I want your art on my body.
She will be so thrilled if you ask her. Like, I know because I think because you follow her, so she knows she commissioned a piece for Jasmine for the Smoke and Mirror tattoo. So yes, that's all I can say is yes. Do it.
Yeah, I did get a commissioned art piece from Cassidy, so I can show you. It's not Blackville Brides related, but it is from Cassidy. This is a piece that Cassidy made. It's
beautiful.
Alex Gascar from All Time Low. One of my favorite bands, so I got a commission piece.
Very curious now because the fact that you're saying yes to a tattoo, but you want Cassidy to design it. Like, do you have ideas? Like, do you have a concept in mind?
I'm not sure, but I'm thinking something along the lines with Born Again. I just really want a Born Again tattoo.
Hey, fair enough.
Are you thinking like certain lyrics or like an image to a lyric or maybe like their symbol to the lyrics?
I
haven't really decided. I was thinking either that or a crown of thorns, maybe doing a crown of thorns. I don't know. I was thinking.
Hear me out. Just hear me out. Have Cassidy draw a portrait of Andy's face with the crown of thorns around it. Blood is coming down, and you could have some type of Born Again lyrics. Oh, just right there, Born Again. There you go.
That would be amazing. Once I get the money for it, I will definitely hit Cassidy up and ask her if she can design my tattoo.
You're gonna make a day.
Cassidy, I know you're watching this or listening to this. You have a new client eventually down the future.
Yay. I'm so happy for like Cassidy and you.
If this happens down the road, you have to update us.
Please tag us if you get it. I would love to see it.
We will retweet, we will like, we will share. Okay, so I know we said this earlier on the episode here with Blackville Brides concert. So the one at Oshkosh was going to be your very first live Blackville Brides concert then, correct?
Yeah, it was going to be.
I'm sorry again. Did you by any chance get purchase a ticket or see their online concert during the whole pandemic?
I didn't get any online because I had a ticket to that free the listening party for the Phantom Tomorrow, but it was during a class, so I couldn't go.
My heart breaks for you, Caidyn. I am so sorry.
You need to hear them live because you can listen to their albums and everything, but hearing them live, just a new atmosphere. There you go.
Yeah, definitely. If they ever come to Wisconsin again on another tour, I will definitely get a ticket.
Oh yeah, for sure. They're definitely going to. They have to.
It's going to be either this fall or next year, I'm sure. So our next question actually comes from the famous and awesome Cassidy. I can't believe she thought of this question. Like, it's a golden question. What era of Blackville Brides is your favorite?
Definitely Set the World on Fire. Like the whole war paint and the long hair and the just like all that whole entire like the outfits, the body paint, everything. I was like, I'm in love. I want this to come back. But then I think about it and I realize how much work it is to put all that together. And I'm like, I want it back, but I don't want them to have to go through all that work to put it together.
It's very interesting. I'm sure a lot of the BVB Army loves the war paint era with Set the World and Restitch These Wounds and high war paint, high. But you bring up a good point. It's just like, I wonder how long it actually took them to do that, even just for music videos, even in the concerts when they were performing on tour during those eras. I wonder actually how long it took.
I'm very curious. I personally love Set the World on Fire. I just get such 80s glam rock vibes.
Mm-hmm.
I live for it.
Yeah, I was so devastated when the first time I saw Andy cut his hair. I'm like, I want the long hair back. But then again, it's probably like the hottest thing ever on stage for you.
Well, and I do remember Andy and talking I don't know if it was in an interview or you guys remember when he did vlogs, those video vlogs, and him being the female deer. Well, I think it was in one of those things, but I think I remember him even saying one of the biggest reasons he cut all of his hair off was because he said it was so knotted and nasty. I don't know if
it was a Brian Stars interview with
was
that one. Yeah. Yeah, because Brian asked him, like, so Andy, like, Brian had a question and from fans, and one of the fans' questions was like, Andy, you cut off your hair. What the And then Andy's like, well, it's kind of back. The only main reason why I cut it because it was just getting gnarly and disgusting, and the knots too. So,
which makes me curious. Was he brushing his hair? Because if you don't brush your hair, it does dread.
Knowing him, probably not.
I know, probably not. Especially being on tour, I don't expect it. Especially when they just constantly are going to hairspray it and tease it. They're like, I'm just going to go to bed like that and wake up. Because if you do put on hairspray and it's teased, you go to bed, you wake up, you're good.
I just want Jake Pitts to bring his war paint back because it was so cool. And I'm like, dude, bring it back. Or at least go do a Twitch stream with one day with the war paint.
Is there any specific Jake war paint that you like?
It's the one where it's just his eyes, where he does like the flared out eyes.
The flames. That was so cool. I literally looked at it and I was like, I'll never be able to do that.
Tried to recreate it once and it just looked like I had a black eye.
Yep, that's what I was just gonna say. I will full on admit I'm almost intimidated just to do Jake's board paint, just because I'm like, I don't want to give myself a black eye and I don't want it to look like Andy. And it always typically looks like Andy, so I'm just like, I can't do it. Jake,
like for the Trinity of Terror, I wanted to recreate Jake's war paint so bad because Jake is my favorite member, and I'm like, I'm gonna recreate in support of Jake, but then I'm like, I'm gonna fail epically at this.
I'm sure no matter what look you had, Jake would have been like, yeah, that's awesome.
100%.
They just love when people dress up in their war paint. Like it's I'm sure to them it's cool because it shows that they're inspiring everyone.
Speaking about all this war paint is now making me think of another question to add on to our list. What's like our favorite war paint of the band members?
If we're adding this on officially.
Officially now, ladies and gentlemen, any future BVB fans coming on to tell their stories, we have now put a new question on the list. Favorite war paint?
So hard. There's like 3 members that I go back and forth from because I'm like, I love Jake's war paint, and then I look at Cece, and then I look at Jinx, and I'm like, I don't know which one I like the best. They're all great.
It's hard to pick just one.
For me, it's a tie between Cece and Andy. I love Andy's in the Legacy music video with the line and everything. I love that. He needs to bring it back because I know right now in the Training of Terror, he's been doing like the raccoon Batman eyes right now, which I love. Don't get me wrong, I do. But I love when he just puts that line, especially in the end era when it was that white line. I'm just like, hi.
I like the white line. I did the white line once.
I've done it a couple times. It's kind of fun to do, actually. It's different.
Oh, yes, I agree.
Second to last question here we have for you is, how has been your experience with the BVB Army?
Most of the experiences I've had have been good. I basically haven't talked to a lot of people in the BVB Army yet, except for you guys and Cassidy. I've talked to Jasmine every once in a while through TikTok, but like that's like basically been the people I've had interactions with.
BVB Army, listen up. You see this girl here? Her name is Caidyn. She is on Twitter. You guys should follow her and you guys should talk to her about Blackfill Brides, really anything. I mean, look at her. She's awesome. She's a great person to talk to.
I think, and I could just be wrong, when it comes to BVB Army, what interaction with that, I think we're all scared to make the first move, to say hi, to compliment, to DM, because we're all scared. Like, even though we know, like, we're friendly and like I said, BVB is family. Like, we're scared to make the first move. Like, when I first joined Twitter and saw the BVB Army, I'm like, I don't know what to do here. I see you guys. Like, when I saw Nicole far away, I'm just like, hi, too scared to say hi, but I'm waving and liking your posts right here. So
just hard because most of my content is not Blackville Brides related. Most of my content is All Time Low related.
the BVB Army, obviously, we're all fans of Blackville Brides, but that doesn't also mean like we can be fans of other things. Like, I'm another, not as big, but I'm also another part of the fandom Potterheads, Harry Potter realm. Love Harry Potter. Was obsessed with it growing up. And, you know, I just feel like we need to share more of our other fandoms out there besides Blackville Brides, because just because that one person, like for you, All Time Low is your main thing, I don't feel like we should like not talk to you because we don't see Blackville Brides on your page. So, because I came across another fan who, super sweet girl, super sweet, and I checked out her profile. She doesn't post much about Blackville Brides, but she's a big fan of them.
I mean, I like All Time Low personally. I don't know like a lot of their songs or albums. You can talk to me about them. You can talk to me about any band. I will happily talk to you about any band you want to discuss, or not even bands. It could be anything. And I'm not necessarily saying for you to reach out to anyone, but I do think that even if you were to make a post about All Time Low, I'm sure there will be Blackville Bride fans out there that also like All Time Low too.
Exactly.
It's hard because I'm not a very what do they call it? A social butterfly. That's not me. I'm super shy. My anxiety is so bad. So I'm probably like the most terrible person to get advice from for this, but it's all about reaching out sometimes, even if you don't want to be the first one.
And that's how I was like, when I saw the Twitter world over there, it's a bit crazy at times. I will say it's a bit crazy. I'm just like, okay, going back to my couch. It is about reaching out, because like thinking back at it, if I didn't reach out and put myself out there, I would not have met such amazing fans here, like Nicole, Cassidy, Jasmine, Catherine, Ren, etc. And you know what, BVB Army, like Nicole said, please go give her a follow, reach out to her, because she loves Blackville Brides. Here we are talking about it and everything about it, which I absolutely love, because I feel like a lot of fans are out there, and I'm just like, we're here. We don't bite. We don't bite. We will give you a BVB Army family hug right now.
We don't bite hard.
You don't bite hard. I think when it comes to social media, everyone's different. That being, even depending on the platform, TikTok, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, but it's different because everyone's different on social media. When it comes to, like, at least for my accounts, when I see people like it and stuff, I see it, I appreciate it. And that's how we came across your comment. And then we saw that you've been watching her show and everything. We're like, she needs a shout out. She's liking, she's commenting, she's retweeting, even those little things. Like, we saw it and we appreciate it very much. So thank you again for it.
I think I can't lie, I do want to say, I feel like you might have been like one of the first to even make a post, like a tweet about how much you enjoyed our show. And really, like, it meant a lot to us.
It did.
It's great to know that we're, able to make you smile and everyone else smile, just entertain people. Like, that's what we're here for.
Yeah, I don't even watch YouTube anymore unless I see, there's a new BVB Army video. I gotta watch that.
You make us feel so loved.
Oh my God, I can't. I'm giving you the biggest virtual hug right now.
Our last question for you, Caidyn, is if you actually have any questions for me and Ruth.
Yeah, my question was, what's your favorite Blackville Brides makeup look to recreate?
No! I'm out. No!
Whoa. I have to think about that. Oh my God, Ruth.
There are so many.
There are, which is why I'm like,
okay, are you asking us the ones we have done or haven't done?
Ones you have done, like what's your favorite one that you've recreated?
Nicole, you have done a lot. I may have stalked your Instagram. I'm sorry.
That's the thing. I that's why I can't remember what I've done.
You have done a lot, and I'm just impressed by all your skills.
Yeah, I've only done one, which was the black line across the nose that Andy had.
Out of all of the Blackville Brides makeup looks that I have done, I think one of my most favorite was when I recreated the Legion of the Black makeup. And of course, there's not really much to do with it because it doesn't really, do the face. But I just love that mask so much. And I was just obsessed with the concept album that they had made for Wretched and Divine. And so I literally I got cornstarch. I mean, I went to, I don't know if you guys are familiar with like Comic-Con, NDK, or any of those. I went to one of those conventions and I dressed up as the girl from Legion of the Black. I had the mask and I was just drenched in all this black, but it was all cornstarch. So I was really sticky.
Oh gosh.
But it was awesome. It literally looked like I had just walked out of a Blackville Brides music video.
I feel like doing any of their old makeup looks, I'm just like, I'm so scared to even try because I just feel like it's just gonna not turn out the way I want it. So I'm a very big perfectionist and I'm like, it's gonna be like, it's not working, and then just end up taking it all off.
Well, I was gonna say, and the fact that it's black is hard.
Once you make an oops with black, it's like, oh boy. So
you got to start over.
Pretty much.
You at least want some major concealer.
Yeah, I think the thing with the work paint is just practice, because my first attempt was, oh God. I'm stuck between two for my favorite looks I've done. It's between the last year for Halloween, just inspired looks from Scarlet Cross.
I remember seeing that look.
And then obviously the 9 look I did. My version of 9 with the wig and everything. I honestly, when I usually do makeup not Blackfill Brides related, it's like I have an image in my head. I kind of know what I'm doing, but there's always that part of me. It's like, you're going to mess up. It's not going to look great. It's not going to look great. 9 came together surprisingly. As of this point right now, I think 9 is the winner of my favorite recreation of a BVB look.
Yeah, I told myself that when I take, I'm in art school right now, so when I take metalworking, I'm like, I'm gonna try to recreate that staff that they had in the Legion of the Black video. I want to try to recreate that so bad, but I feel like that'd be so hard and so much work, and I'm just like, I don't know.
No, you should do it.
I'm not gonna do it.
Like, if you have the motivation, I'll tell you now, do it, because if you at all lose that motivation, you'll find yourself not doing it at all.
No fighting.
I was like, I can't tell if you're frozen. Like, man,
sorry, no, cats.
No, you just dead ass locked your eyes on that cat. Like, hey.
Because honestly, to be fair, after those 2 questions we got of like black licorice or red licorice or pineapple on pizza, I kind of want to ask everyone just to see
black licorice or red licorice and pineapple on pizza.
I am more of a red licorice fan, but it has to be the strawberry because the cherry is nasty. I don't like cherry flavored things.
Tastes like medicine.
Licorice for the win. Yes, I'm not alone for once.
Yeah, I'm not a pineapple on pizza fan. I think the sweet and salty just doesn't mix well with my stomach.
Interesting. All right. That's fair.
All right, BVB Army, it is the segment that we always love to do. It is the fan shout out for today's episode. So we have a lovely fan named Ian Elridge. Please tell me I pronounced that right. If I butcher it, I'm sorry. But today's fan shout out goes to you, Ian, sir. We have definitely seen that you follow our Twitter account and you watch our show. And we also saw your name on the fan shout out form. We will get to you, sir. We are working on it. We will get to you. But definitely fan shout out goes to you. You definitely support our show. Obviously support Blackfill Brides. Thank you for sending in your birthday video to CC. And what I've seen from your account and a little interaction here and there, you definitely love the rock and roll scene a lot. Blackfill Brides has definitely given you inspiration and inspired you in all ways. So fan shout out goes to you, sir.
Caidyn, is there anything that you would like to say to Blackfill Brides or the fans or really to anyone?
I hope to see Blackfill Brides live someday. Hopefully if they ever come back to Wisconsin again or Chicago, because I might be able to hit a Chicago show, but
Yes, I really hope they will, and you will see them live for the very first time. And I'm going to be so excited for you on that day. You will see them live. You will. It will happen.
Just keep repeating it. It's going to happen. They will be back. I mean, it's Wisconsin. It's
Wisconsin. They have to.
They have to.
They have to. Where can the fans find you? Can they find you on any social media platforms?
I have Instagram, TikTok, and Twitter, all at Band Obsessed All, but no capitals or spaces.
Got it. BVB Army, you know what to do. Please go give her a follow on all of these social media platforms. She is amazing. All of her social media links will be down in the description below, along with ours right here and our why do I keep on getting I'm brain dead. Twitter account will also be there. So please give us all a follow. And I think this is it. Oh, one more thing. I keep failing to mention this is yes, BVB Army. If you would love to tell your stories here to us and for everyone to watch or listen, because our show is a podcast now, please, we have a Google form down below in the description. If you are definitely interested to share your story, please fill out that form and we will get to you as soon as we can. I can't emphasize this enough. Thank you so much for like supporting our show and just retweeting it and just liking it, because I, like Nicole said, I think we were the very first one who's done that, and that just meant a lot to us. Like, you don't know how much that meant to us. So thank you again. I'm giving you a virtual hug.
Yeah, I always try to, every time I see your videos, I'm like, I'm gonna retweet or make a tweet.
Well, we really appreciate your support. Honestly, it means the world to us, and that's what's going to help us to keep this going.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was fun to be on here. I've been watching so many fans on the show. I'm like, I want to be one of them. And now I am.
All right, BVB Army, thank you so much for tuning in to hear a wonderful Blackville Brides fan story. We absolutely love doing this. Remember, all of our social media links are down below. Please go give us a follow. If you haven't been following or subscribing to our YouTube channel, I think you should do that. Please do that. We love the support. We honestly love it. And we have a podcast. You can find us on Spotify, iHeartRadio, and Google Podcasts. BVB Army Hearts to Hearts. You can listen to us too instead of looking at us. But sometimes you do miss some fun things here and there.
and you miss some really funny facial expressions. Just saying.
Facts. Anyways, we will see you guys next Wednesday with a very special episode. And I just realized, Nicole, something. You know when our next episode will be on?
Like on a Wednesday? What?
What? You may not know the reference. It's okay. May the force be with you.
Hudson is making me watch all the Star Wars movies. I just finished Empire Strikes Back or something like that. I'm not a fan of Star Wars, but now it's funny. Literally, he's making me watch it in order that it should be, though. So it's technically, it started with 4, 5, 6, then went to 1, 2, 3. And I think the next one we're supposed to watch is like Kylo Ren or some shit. I don't know.
I never understood the story. I'm just like, I watched it. I'm like,
BVB Army. Anyone who's a big Star Wars fan, our next episode would be on May the 4th.
He started making me watch it last week. And I literally like binge watched almost all of them. So I'm halfway there. I think I just got like 5 or 6 more to watch. Help me.
All right, BVB Army, we're going to end it here. So thank you so much. We will see you guys next Wednesday. Goodbye.